All right, let's start this off, y'all. The Broke Otaku podcast is brought to you by Bitch Salad.
Bitch salad, bitch.
Eat it, bitch.
Eat it.
You vegan bitch.
Welcome to the Broke Otaku podcast. I'm AJ. With me is Marcus, aka the $100 dongle.
You got $100? If you do, you get to see something.
Ew.
My dongle.
That didn't make it any better. Dongle.
Dongle, 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 Billy up.
I didn't know what you were doing at first, and then I got it.
It took me a
I
minute.
didn't either,
got there.
and then we found out. We all realized at the same time.
That's a
what I was
reference to
doing.
a very old song called Jungle Boogie.
What?
People know Jungle Boogie.
Uh,
Jungle Boogie, go away.
I'm pretty sure the 20 people that listen to this podcast are all like 15. They don't
Man,
know
I gotta
that
tell
shit.
you, kids'
We
movies
just
these
did you a
days,
solid.
the only thing
Yeah.
kids' movies have going for them is that they cram as much music
Old
from
music,
old
yeah.
music into stuff as they can. Like
Yeah,
watch
nobody
Angry Birds.
uses new music in a movie anymore.
Yeah, they're trying to
all just
ride the
nostalgia
waves
farming.
of Guardians of the Galaxy that had an excellent soundtrack put to good use. They're like, oh, let's
Yeah.
put some old music in the movie and it'll be good.
I can't remember the last movie I watched that didn't have a song from the 70s at the beginning of it.
Right. Exactly. Watch like the last 20 minutes of the Angry Birds movie. They cram as many song references as they can, and it's so annoying, and I hate that movie.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, the Trolls movie was just songs that other people wrote being sung by the Trolls.
Yeah, but at least that had like good performances. Like the
That's
Angry
fine.
Birds
Yeah,
movie
like, they're
is
good
just
songs, but it's just like, that's how we make movies now?
Yeah,
It's
songs
Like,
of
let's
the
take a bunch
movie.
of old songs and reintroduce them to a new generation. It's like, that's fine.
It's like your
And
parents.
Then we have a movie.
It's like your
Yeah.
parents' high school reunion, the movie.
I distinctly remember sitting in the theater with my kids watching Trolls, and about 40 minutes in, this wave of hatred just came over me. And I was just like, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And I just got super mad, and the rest of the time I was just sitting there stewing like, I hate this movie. It's so bad. And like I watched it again since then. It's not as bad as I was angry about in the theater, but something about it like just clicked. And it wasn't a good click. It was a bad click.
I feel like I was at your house or something, and it was on in the background, and I wasn't really following it, but it was just like all of a sudden, here's a girl troll singing this song, and it was like it had no context. It was not appropriate at all. It was just like here she is singing the song because we wanted to.
Because Anna Kendrick, man, she can sing. Hey guys, she can sing. Listen.
Hey, AJ, you
Sure.
should introduce the other member of this podcast.
Oh yeah,
Who is
Alan.
this third person talking?
Alan, aka Lou the Jew Boo.
Oh my god! Did you say Lou or Blue?
Lou the Jew
Blue.
Boo.
Hold on, I need. I'm a Chinese general. Do you realize I'm a Chinese general? I'm one of the greatest fighters in the universe. I'm gonna fight Thor now. He reminds me of my nephew David. My David, I call him. I'm gonna kick his ass.
He didn't.
Sorry, I got a little something
Verklempt.
going on there.
got a
Anyway,
little
I got a little
verklempt
verklempt. Coffee talk. I'm gonna drink some coffee and talk about it. That's a
I got a
different
game.
accent, I think. Let's play a game.
I got a game. This is a game made from the hearts and minds of many people. Mostly me.
What's that mean?
But
What the
also,
hell are you
well,
talking about?
shut up. It's based on the movie that we watched. It's a haiku game. So I will read you a Japanese haiku.
I like
in
haiku.
Japanese. Yes, everybody does. They're so good.
Haiku means more than one haiku. Did you know that? That's what I learned
Whoa.
from this movie.
It's like aloha's hello and goodbye.
Yeah, they say haiku when they mean haikus.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep. So I'm going to give you a haiku, and then I'm going to give you one word from each line. You know what a haiku is. I mean, come on. You learned it in like second grade.
Well,
Are we talking
syllables,
about 5, 7, 5?
then 7 syllables, then 5 syllables. The thing is, when you translate haikus, in Japanese, it's a haiku, but when you translate it, it ain't necessarily a haiku.
It's like 4 words.
Yeah, so I'm going to allow you guys, so I'm going to give you the haiku in Japanese, and then I'm going to give you a word that goes into each, what do you call that? Bar, line of the haiku, and then you have to give me a haiku. And I'll be lenient. It doesn't have to be 575 because these don't translate to 575. They just have to have the words that I give you in them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Nope.
Okay, so the first one is by Matsuo Basho, and I will try my best not to butcher these because I did not practice them. Here it is. Furuike ya kawatsu tobikomu mitsu no oto. And the 3 words, first one is pond, second one is frog, and the third one is sound. Marcus, you look like you were paying attention. Why don't you go first?
Oh. A tiny pond carries the frog as he sounds.
Perfect. Alan?
Huh?
Give me a haiku with the words.
I thought it was
pond,
Marcus's turn.
frog.
Oh, I didn't know
Okay,
we were both gonna
We can
translate.
flip flop. That's fine. We can flip flop.
Okay.
No,
I got
I'll
like
do
a bunch
it.
of these. Okay, do it.
Okay. You want me to do a 575 if I can?
Do whatever you want. Yeah, if you can. Pond, frog.
I was
whatever
going for
sound.
direct translation, but if you want to make an actual haiku, then that's fine too. I don't feel like
Okay.
calculating.
A frog knows one thing. The pond is only as good as the splashing sounds. That was 575 to the dome.
Frog only knows.
Off the dome.
All
In the
right.
dome.
Either I got the words mixed up or he did. Which one of us
No,
got the
you
word?
definitely got them mixed up, Alan. It was pond, then frog, then sound. But it's fine.
Oh, I had to go in order. Jesus.
Whatever.
Yeah,
What
that's
am
the
I?
whole point.
It don't
He
matter.
said he's going to give a word from each line.
I
I
just want to hear
zoned
you
out
guys
for
try
like
to make
3
up
seconds
haikus.
while you were explaining the rules, and so I know now.
You made a
It's
haiku.
okay.
It's good. Let's move on. Here's the translation.
That's 1. I'm gonna
The
do
old
this.
pond, a frog leaps in. Sound of the water.
That's deep, bro.
Yeah, don't overthink these.
All right.
I'll give it to Alan because that was pretty good. He did haiku it for real. So that's 1 point
be
for
on
Alan.
them
Keep
syllables,
your own
man.
score. Next one, Yosa Buson is the author. Haru no umi, hino mosu notari kana. And the
You said notari twice.
Indeed. The words are spring, gently, and day. Alan, you go first.
When wanking in spring. What was the second word?
Gently.
Spring. Be sure to apply gently the pressure of
Day
your
was the last
day.
word.
The pressure. That's too many syllables.
Yep.
The pressure of day.
Those are 2 different things. The pressure of your day and the pressure of day seem very different.
It's that double meaning, man. There's layers.
All right, Marcus, what you got? Spring,
Blossom
gently,
in
day.
spring. The wind blows gently. Fuck your day.
That was good. So here's the true translation. Spring ocean gently, or swaying gently. Sorry, spring ocean swaying gently all day long.
Haiku suck.
Don't overthink them. Don't overthink them.
I'm sure it's an art form in Japan, but man,
No.
all of the art goes right out the window when you translate them to English.
There's definitely
so-
something lost in translation.
I realized something about poems from like being around poets at work because I work for a English department at a university. It's not about like saying anything. It's about making you feel like you're there. It's not about being clever or profound or anything. It's about making the person feel like they're there. At least that's what I've gathered.
You know what I feel like does that well? Prose. Well, I guess poems are prose unless you're using a rhyme scheme. But yeah. Novels, when people like,
Speaking plainly.
yeah, when they describe a scene,
I prefer cons. Get it?
Shut up.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to give it to Marcus because it was funny. All right, the next one. Kobayashi Isa is the author.
That's the dude that eats the hot dogs, right?
Yeah, probably. Yase Gaeru. Shh. It's important.
We're in the library. Shut the fuck up.
Read not Google over here.
You're going to miss the translation if you don't hear me speak perfect Japanese. Yase Gaeru. Makeruna Isa Kore ni Ari.
Okay.
The words are frog.
Again?
Again?
Yes.
You lack originality.
Beaten. Now, I pulled these directly off of masterpieceofjapaneseculture.com.
No,
Wow.
but you get to pick whatever
That is
word you want. You picking the
That's a
same words.
highfalutin name.
Well, there's only like 6 words to choose from, Marcus. So, frog, beaten, and Isa. Those are the 3 words. Marcus,
Isa?
you are first.
Isa is a word?
What the fuck does that
Yeah.
mean?
ISSA. Well, if you recall, the author is Kobayashi Isa.
Oh, man.
So I got to use.
So
this
he
as
wrote this.
self-
He wrote this about himself.
What a piece of shit.
Self-portrait that in the drawing. He's all...
Frog, beaten, Isa.
Who's going first?
Me?
You, Marcus.
I see frog beaten down just like Issa.
Okay. Alan.
Frog swimming has beaten Issa in a race.
Not even close. Neither one of you close to a haiku.
I'm doing translation. I'm not trying to
You're
match
right.
syllables.
All right, here's the translation, and then I'll pick a winner. Skinny frog, don't get beaten.
Mhm.
Issa is here.
I like mine better.
If this is masterworks of Japanese culture?
These are the most famous haiku poems in Japanese and English.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
I
there's
could
got to
have
be
been...
there's got to be an aesthetic thing that we don't get, not being Japanese. There has to be.
Most famous, not necessarily good.
That's true. Like Despacito was a really famous song.
I'm going to call it a tie, so no points will be given this round.
Bullshit.
Yeah, sorry. All right, I got a couple more of these, but we can let's do 2 more.
That's a couple.
This is a
Tie again.
Yosa Busan Nano Hana Ya Suki Ha Higashi ni
Mm-hmm.
Hiwa Nishi ni. And the words are flowers, sky, and sky.
I hate you.
Alan, you're first.
Okay. Flowers look. Hold on. Flowers are. Damn it. Hold on. Flowers are like sky. Sky is also like sky. I said sky 3 times because you only gave us 3 words. Maybe there's another one in there.
I could have. Yeah, you're right.
Hana means flower. Are you gonna actually make me do haiku in syllables? Because I wasn't doing it like that.
I'm not making you
before.
do anything. I'm just making you give me an answer.
Well, you were all like, "Oh, that's not even a haiku before."
I know, but Alan set the trend of doing a haiku, and then he just dropped the ball.
I didn't. My last one, I did not count syllables, and then I just gave up. That's like my whole life.
Show me flowers in the sky right now.
Whoa.
What?
Calm down.
Why?
Calm down, Elton John. We're not writing songs here. Sorry. Continue, please. You have a beautiful singing voice.
I'm done.
Oh. Just getting into it.
Whatever.
All right, here's the translation. The canola flowers. The moon is in the eastern sky. The sun is in the western sky.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll be honest, I didn't hear Alan's. What was yours again?
You said
I said
flowers
sky
look
3
like
times.
the
You
sky?
didn't hear
Oh,
it?
yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'll give it to Alan.
I'm
He said sky 3
insulted.
times.
That you free. That's how you win.
Yeah, you win by just being you, and he just picks you all the time for dumb reasons.
I've picked you both equally until just now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
won
what I mean.
by a hair.
All right,
Our
next
hair's
one.
the same color.
And last
one.
one.
Bonus round. Lightning.
This is from Matsuo Basho. Shizukesa ya iwa ni shimiru semi no koe. The words are O, as in the exclamation,
I love this game.
penetrating,
No.
and cicada.
What do you think? Why?
All right.
I didn't write these.
I'm gonna have to try real hard
Marcus.
to be a creep.
Oh shit! The cicadas penetrate my ass. Oh no!
Oh.
Wait, they got the words backwards. Oh shit! Don't penetrate my ass, cicada.
God. Was it penetrate or penetrating?
is penetrating.
I don't care.
It's fine.
Okay. All right, here goes. Oh shit.
Copying me.
Something is penetrating my ass. It's cicadas.
And it's cicada, not cicadas.
A cicada. Hold on, let me count the syllables. Oh shit. Something is penetrating my ass. It's a cicada, bro. All right. That was
This
fun.
one's interesting because it's got 2 words that are 4 syllables. Okay, so the first line is "O
Wait,
tranquility."
who got the last point? Who got the last point?
Well, what's the translation first?
Yeah, here's the translation. "O tranquility, penetrating the very rock, a cicada's voice."
Okay.
Doesn't make any sense. I'll give it to Marcus.
Yeah, that's fair. I thought you were moving on to the next one. I got confused.
Yay! That's it, right? We're done. Right?
We're done. That was a game. Good job.
I forgot my score. Did I win? I think I won.
It was tied somehow.
It was tied.
No.
That's how I do.
I told you.
No hard feelings for anybody.
I told you not to make it a tieable. I told you only do one more.
Fine. Marcus wins because so that I look even and I don't always give it to Alan.
I'm out of here.
Get out of here. Speaking of haiku,
did you know that words sometimes bubble up like soda pop when I'm with a girl?
Sometimes soda pop gives you bubble guts.
Sometimes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Nope. That's it. Sometimes. That's my haiku. It's deep. It's deep.
Sometimes
we watched a film for Netflix. The film for Netflix was called Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop. And if you haven't watched it, it's about a kid who writes poems and another girl who's like a TikTok star.
She's a curio influencer or whatever they call her.
Whatever that means.
Curio was the platform that they have in the movie.
Yeah. It was basically Twitter, but with more video. And she has some busted teeth, so she always wears a mask. And the kid who writes the poems, I'm not going to try to sum it up. I'm just going to read a synopsis.
It's a teen age insecurity drama, not even drama. It's like a feel good teenage thing.
It's a comedy romance is exactly what it is.
Is it even a comedy though?
That's what I was going to say.
Was there even jokes to laugh at?
That's what it's classified as per Wikipedia. I would just say it's more like a teen romance movie.
It's like if you made tea and then like dumped half of it out and poured water into it. That's what it's like. It's like
but it still looks like really good tea.
It's like
you look at it and you're like,
it's like tasty. A diluted beverage. It has a nice color to it, but it's like a diluted beverage.
It's like when you go to the to like a health store and you see like the juices that they have that are like freshly made that day, and you're like, ooh, that like green one looks pretty good, and then you drink it and you're like, none of this green is fruit, it's all vegetables.
Ooh,
that's what it's like.
That's good. It's like pouring a glass of what looks like Coke with ice and realizing it's RC Cola.
Fair. Royal Crown, boy.
Yeah. No, honestly, like the more I thought about this movie, like I didn't dislike it.
I don't dislike it either. But go ahead.
Visually, it looks really good. Like the animation's solid. The colors are really bright and vibrant. It does feel a lot like Fooly Cooly because that's the same studio who did it, if I'm not mistaken.
Fact check that.
They might have done like one episode, I think.
Fooly Cooly Progressive is in Signal.md's repertoire. Is that the right word? Sure.
Not exactly, but
they're not exactly. You know what I'm trying to say.
Their oeuvre.
Yep, their oeuvre. They also did Napping Princess. In case you've heard of that, maybe you haven't. Probably not. I don't know.
They also
I don't know
did
what you're into.
Bun Bun Shutterby, I think.
Cyborg 009. Birthday Wonderland. I never heard of that.
I know all those.
Yeah. Fate Grand Order. Something, bunch of words I don't know. And a couple other things. Mars Red.
Oh, yeah. Mars Red.
And Shoobytown Sparkle Face.
There's also a credit to Sublimation, which is credited on Dragon's Dogma.
Do you know what sublimation means? Do you remember?
Nope.
Physics?
Sublimate, obviously. Isn't it like dissolving a solute in a Solvent.
No, I like that you use those words though.
The process by which.
Sublimation is what dry ice does in room temperature.
No way.
It is when a solid goes directly, evaporates directly into a gas, and it skips the liquid phase.
Yeah. I'm into sublimation.
Yeah, man.
I'm all about.
Why would you name your studio that?
I'm all about skipping that step where you turn to liquid. You're just trying to get to that gas, man. Just cut out the middleman.
Start with the chunky. Get to the end as quickly as possible. So all the characters in this movie have stupid names.
Most
you got
of them.
Cherry. You got Cherry.
Who's our main character?
Yep. You got Smile.
Who's a co-main character?
Yeah, she's the girl with the busted teeth.
Yep.
You got. I think the dude's name was Japan.
There's a dude named Japan. Yep. He's a super. Who's a super otaku.
Yep. Who else they had in there?
There was Bush. Bush was in there.
Tough Boy, who had Tough Boy on his shirt. So it was weird that his name was Tough Boy because I thought he was just wearing a Tough Boy brand shirt, but that was his name.
Was it like his own brand?
And then there was.
Did he start his own brand, or did he just have one shirt and
I
don't know? I think he ever wore.
It's probably in his backstory, but I didn't read that. And then they have Beaver, who's the skater kid who's always writing graffiti around everywhere. Who was inspired?
His name was Beaver.
His name was Beaver. Yeah. And he was
Interestingly,
he was inspired.
Wikipedia says his name was Bieber, as in Justin Bieber.
Is it spelled like Bieber?
It's spelled like Bieber. I wonder if they changed it to avoid any kind of. But if Bieber's just a name,
I don't know if they have a V sound in phonetic.
Yeah.
Japanese phonetics, so they might.
Yeah, but even the subtitles didn't translate it to Bieber. Wait, say that again.
What you were trying? If you were trying to make it sound like beaver, the English word, you would say Bieber.
Beaver.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because they don't got no V's.
They don't got no V's. Is that true? I guess
so.
it's true.
You ain't got no V's.
I think so. I'm like 90% sure. I could be wrong. Somebody's pulling their hair out right now. Who knows the answer?
I think you're right. I think it's all F sounds. So yeah, you got them people. So those are all the characters. My anime list has a really bad synopsis.
Yeah, quit looking up synopses on my anime list then.
Stop it.
I want to read it just to give people context.
I'm not saying don't read a synopsis. I'm saying don't get them from my anime list, because every fucking time you go to my anime list, you're like, this is a really bad synopsis. Yet
you're right.
Every time you go to my anime list.
But they're funny.
Don't go to fandom.com either, because fandom's synopsis of this movie is wrong.
Well, don't go to Wikipedia either, because they don't even have a synopsis.
Here's the synopsis.
Hey, guys, what if there were a podcast that told you what it was about and told you what we thought about
there's this
it?
one podcast called Broke Otaku, and this guy on there,
No, not that one. The other, that one sucks. The different one.
Not the second worst one.
The other one, yeah, the third worst,
worst,
not the second worst.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm calling them up right now. Boop, 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 boop. All right, they're telling me. They're saying that this movie is about a young man who has a hard time expressing himself, so he does so in haiku all the time. And he wears headphones all the time to block out the noise of the external world. One day, he bumps into this girl who is an influencer with big buck teeth that she's insecure about, so she always wears a mask. This movie is about the adventures they have one magical summer. And
after they mix up their phones that look nothing alike.
They mix up their phones, and they live in a fucking colorful-ass, cool-looking town that revolves around a mall. Ain't shit to do but go to this mall. Don't nobody...
It's like cornfields or rice fields for like 2 miles in every direction of this mall.
Yeah, it's like the mall and fields, and then everybody's houses are like around the field.
And the girl's house looks like a mall. There's like stairs going up and like railings, and then it's like her bed and her desk and stuff are just there. It's a very open concept.
It's a very open concept. She lives in a big ass loft with her 2 sisters. And I'm not gonna lie, it wouldn't be a room for me or like a boy, but like their room looked dope. Like it looked really
Yeah.
fun for like 3 kids to live in. And honestly, I'm gonna start talking about my opinions on the movie right now.
Do it.
Honestly, a lot of the interiors were amazing. Like I loved them all. Like I remember when they were showing him in his room, Cherry in his room, I was like, that's a super cozy looking room. Like I'd chill in there. And then they had like this weird funky wallpaper in the kitchen that like it had this, it wasn't a plaid pattern, but it was like just like crosshatch lines, and then they went from kind of like a faded out neon green, and then further up it went towards the ceiling was like to a purple. It was weird. It's like all of the interiors were funky, for lack of a better word to use. And like we were saying, lots of cool, like bright colors that weren't overly saturated. Like whoever like put together the color palette for this movie was like dope, because the colors were great.
You said cozy, and I was like, this movie kind of felt cozy.
Yeah.
Like it felt very safe. Like you knew nobody was gonna die, nobody was gonna. It was just like, here's some real chill shit happening, and like there's no real stakes at all. Like the worst thing that's gonna happen is someone's feelings might get a little bit hurt.
Yeah.
Maybe someone might get hungry for a little bit or sleepy. But like that's the worst.
Maybe they can't find a record.
Someone might lose something, or someone might trip and fall down and get a little embarrassed, but everyone else is gonna make them feel okay about it.
Yeah.
They're gonna be fine.
A little kid named Beaver might misspell some shit as he writes it on your window.
Well, he was doing graffiti all over the damn town, so like that's a little edgy.
Yeah. Yeah, but nobody was like terribly put out. They were just kind of like, why are you doing that?
You would think, yeah, like the amount of graffiti that he was doing all over town, you would think that the authorities would be after him, but it's just like, it was almost like I want to say Andy Griffith. We're just like, oh, that's just Beaver. That's just what he does.
Yeah.
He's just trying to
Beaver's
promote.
at it again.
Yeah.
There was the one guy in the beginning was like yelling at him, which the movie opened up with this like chase scene where he's on the skateboard and this guy in the mall is running after him like, Beaver! And then somehow he doesn't kill himself because he's on the skateboard in the mall and like jumps down like an opening and probably drops like 30 feet. And then he hits the ground, like still on the skateboard. He just kind of shudders when he hits the ground.
Well, he had a cutout thing, like a cardboard plank of some kind.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he used that to like glide a little bit.
That's right. I forgot about that. He did have the cardboard plank. But yeah, I think you're right about this movie being very cozy, safe. I was gonna say fun, but I don't even want to say fun. I think
fun is too intense. No,
yeah,
this movie.
I think you're right when you say chill shit. It's a bunch of chill shit, and I feel like this movie is very, in that way, it's very family friendly, and specifically like if you have tweens that are like fucking weeboos, like this movie is for them, because social media plays a big part of it. And just that angst that all tween weeboos feel, I'm sure, just feeling a little bit awkward and out of place, and wanting to have a cute meet with somebody and all that jazz.
But even the angst isn't like, it's not true angst.
Yeah, it's not
like
angst.
It's existential angst.
It's more like insecurity.
Insecurity. Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But I want to know what time frame this movie takes place in, because they all smartphones, social media is a big part of it, but the shopping mall is like prevalent. I guess it's because it's a small suburban town and not a whole lot's going on. Like the shopping mall is like still just the place to be.
Yeah, they have like a if you have a fireworks festival every year at your mall, then it's big enough, or it's like central enough.
It's just an interesting setting, because you wouldn't expect a mall to be like the kind of the center of a movie that takes place in the modern day. But I guess because it's sort of it's more suburban than rural, I guess that makes more sense. And it is kind of a nice, just kind of change of pace from other, even like slice of life anime. Like, it's just things happen. Like you said, it's just a chill movie. And it's kind of a good thing to just kind of have on. If it's like the end of the day, like maybe you're on vacation and like you're just chilling looking for something to watch, or maybe you're just sitting at home and you're like, I want just a movie that kind of pops visually and doesn't put a whole lot of weight on my shoulders watching it. Like, this is the movie for you.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience for me. Just like it's beautiful to look at.
Yeah, the animation is great.
Yeah, everything's like bright, but not too bright, but like well drawn and just like easy on the eyes, but like nothing is too intense. It's like almost like a meditative kind of thing where like, you know, back to that idea of like coziness or like safety. It was, yeah, I don't know if I've ever watched a movie that quite like hit me the same way. Like, it wasn't like we watched it together online and we were kind of like cracking jokes the whole time. Like, because it kind of felt like it was boring, but like not in a bad way. I don't know. It was a unique experience for me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I think it was only boring in a bad way because it was late.
Yeah,
and we had to watch it for the podcast, and since it did meander, like I remember 20 minutes in, I asked you guys, I was like, do you know what the story is yet? Like, is there a story? And y'all are both like, no, there's absolutely no story yet.
I mean,
it takes its damn time. So
you kind of realize early on it's going to be about the boy and the girl.
You realize it's about the boy and the girl, but like the movie opens with this long ass chase scene on the skateboard that has nothing to do with either one of those characters.
Well, they wanted to pull you in.
I mean, I guess. All I'm saying is
I don't know.
It goes from him, and then the girl's like, I'm a curio girl. I'm going to look for cute things. Yay. And then the boy is just like saying words. You don't know he's writing haiku yet. So you're just wondering if he's slow. Like, you just don't know like what his deal is. Cause he's just like cart, pants.
Right.
Onions.
Yeah.
It's like,
I did kind of get like a Rain Man vibe very early on.
Yeah, but that wasn't even the case. It wasn't until maybe
it wasn't.
40 minutes in the movie, you're like, oh, this kid writes poetry.
Yeah.
So,
you know what the first part of the movie was for? Like, because if you compare it to the rest of the movie, that's the only action scene. Calling it an action scene is tough, but the skateboarding through the mall scene is the only animated action scene in the entire movie. The rest is just like people walking around, standing around, and it's still well animated, but like you're not getting
that opening
anything
scene
else.
is the proof, like, hey, y'all, like, this is good animation. Don't think it's not,
look what we can do. We don't do it very often, but we can.
Yeah,
they
and that's
peak
kind of the
early,
thing,
and then
like,
the rest of the movie is just a slow day crescendo.
Right.
But
yeah, and
not in a bad way.
And I think because it was late and because we are who we are, like just old dudes that like it or not, we like action more than anything else. We love a good story. True. You know, give us some drama or some suspense or something. We like that. But at the end of the day, like, give us that action. We want it. So us being who we are, it being late, it going slow, it was just like, all right, we need to make some crash jokes to make this time go. Because I remember I was looking down to see, I scrolled down to see like how much of the movie we had left. And right as I was doing that, AJ was just like, this movie's boring.
It was only 90 minutes, but
it felt like 2 hours, man. It felt so much longer.
When you're checking, anytime you're like checking the time on something, then, you know, it's just, you might find yourself checking the clock a couple times through this movie. But, you know, if you stick with it, you won't be Too disappointed. You really have to.
AJ, I want to hear what you got to say.
Go ahead.
I want to hear it.
It's a shame because like I do want to branch out and I want to enjoy other things. And it's just, you get a movie like this and it's like, there's things to enjoy about it, but if it was like 60 minutes, it would have been fine. But the fact that they drug it out that extra 20, 25 minutes just kind of made it.
It's a feature-length film.
I know, but like, it doesn't have to be. It came to Netflix.
If
like,
you
It
drop
probably
a movie,
actually,
and
it probably has to be.
yeah.
Oh, well, okay, fine. But that. I think that hurts it in its own way.
They used it all in one way or another. They
Yeah,
I'm gonna side with AJ on this point because I feel like when you said that, when you made the comment about the movie being boring, it was during one of these scenes where it was just like what was happening was taking way too long. And I don't know if it was like trying to encapsulate the haiku spirit or some shit about just like feeling the moment. But there was like a scene where he's like deciding whether or not to follow her on Curio, and it's just showing the screen and he's kind of going, and you see his like hesitating finger going
feel like
back and forth. And it's like, I get it, but damn, this is a rough thing to watch. Like, at least show his face. If you show his face, then it's like I can read the emotions going on in his head as he's like trying to make this decision. But it's just showing the phone.
Yeah, there was a lot of shots of like just the phone in someone's hand. But like, I don't know, the like hesitation there, like, ooh, do I do it or not, is like, I feel like it really captured like some of the teen anxiety of like, do I like take this step? Like, do I put myself out there? You know, do I like risk getting like embarrassed or feelings hurt or like rejected or whatever? Like, I feel like it really captured that pretty well. It kind of took me back to like, oh man, I don't miss those days of being a teenager where like you're really, you know, all you can think about, like you have this moment with this girl or whatever, and that's all you can think about, and you're like, did it mean anything to that other person or didn't it, and like, should I act on it? Like, just this like massive uncertainty of like, out of like all these little things. It took me back to those days, and I was like, man, I'm so glad I'm like an adult now and I don't have these concerns. But
yeah, and the things that happen, like the story elements of it, like you said, they're not very heavy. And if you want to, I guess, experience life as a teenager in suburban Japan, maybe this is a good representation of that. But it, you know, overall, the story elements that do occur, like the whole thing with the record and breaking it, like all of that just felt kind of, I don't know, like just didn't have a lot of weight to it. Like,
it could have been anything.
It didn't have a lot of like once they kind of resolved that, it was like, okay, where to now? Oh, now he's gonna profess his love at this festival. Okay.
Not even love. He just said out loud.
Oh yeah, he did.
I like
he was just
you.
like, I like you.
And that's this movie in a nutshell. Like, he's not professing love. He's just saying, I like you. Like, that's as deep as we're gonna go.
Yeah, it's your typical like coming of age romance, budding romance thing where it's like, there was one summer where it was like this girl and I hung out. And yeah, you're kids. So that's all it is.
Yeah.
Right. And there's really not a whole lot else to say about that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a pretty generic feeling movie. There's not a...
So yeah, it's like, it's just that. It's nothing more. It's not like these two childhood friends who like grew up and went through all this shit in life together, and then, you know, they hit their late 20s and it's like, I've always loved you. Like, it's not that. It's like this girl that's kind of cute that you met that broke you out of your shell a little bit. And you got to like have an adventure to help this old man find some music that meant something to him. So that's all it's going to be at the end is I like you. So it's funny that they just made a big deal of that for him to just yell out at the end in front of everybody, the equivalent of like, I have a crush on you.
Yeah. I mean, he did it in front of everybody on a microphone. And he recited a bunch of haikus.
Yep. About her teeth
which,
that she hates.
In context, it's a big deal.
It's everything to you. Like in that moment in your life, that's everything. So, I mean, and I guess maybe that's why it's a little bit hard for me to get through is because you were saying like, it was making you remember that time. I fucking hated that time, bro.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's stressful.
So it's not a thing that I watch and go like, yay, this is awesome. It's more just like, oh, you're fucking awkward. And I remember being awkward and I guess as a healthy person, I would relate to that and just go, oh, but instead I'm like, yeah, I was dumb as shit.
No.
I was like, that was a dumbass.
I want to go back.
That was a dumbass time where I was dumb and the girl that I liked was probably dumb too because we didn't have that much life experience. So it was just a bunch of people being dumb.
Speaking of dumb, like, so there's this boy and this girl, Cherry and Smile, and they weren't terribly interesting.
No,
I mean, he writes his haikus, that's cool, but like he is very, very like milk toast as a person. Like he has like zero like range in his voice. He's always just kind of like speaking like this. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do okay. Like there's no, like if you think of anime as like exaggerated shouting and like crazy faces and stuff, like this is not that. And then the girl is like, she's this internet personality, I guess, but she just says everything is cute over and over again. Maybe that's just like with him because she's nervous, so she just calls things cute.
No. Specifically, her latest project that she was working on for her channel was to find things that were cute.
Okay. Yeah.
So she was just like walking around filming herself on Kyōuhei all the time. Yeah. So like, oh my God, this is cute.
So like you're fine with putting yourself out there for like the whole, internet, but like you're nervous about this boy. I don't know. It was a little bit of a clash for me. But I'm trying to remember how they mixed up their phones and then...
Well, I think the reason why she was nervous about him specifically is when they had the run-in. Basically, the Beaver Kid runs into both of them on his skateboard. He knocks them both over. In so doing, her mask comes off and his headphones come off. The two things that are the symbols of their security, pretty much. And so... when they kind of look at each other when they're, getting their, like reorienting themselves. And then he sees her teeth with her new braces and he goes, braces. And she's like, he said braces. So she's just freaking out about it. But then she gets his phone. They mix up the phone. So then they have to call. And then it's like him and his two friends and her two sisters. And then they have the whole awkward, like who is this phone? It's like 3 girls on that side, 3 boys on this side. Blah. So it just set up the whole, like, this guy is different because it's not weird to me. It's easy to like present yourself to the masses when you don't actually have to interact with the masses. But here she's interacting with him as an actual person that, she's like, she's kind of into almost immediately. And at first it's awkward, but they start hanging out, which is funny because they don't even really have a reason to hang out after they get their phones back. They just kind of do.
Right.
So
Yeah, I'm trying to
at that
remember
point,
how
it's
it went
like,
down.
it just went.
they meet up and then they just be friends, and then they solve the riddle of the record.
Yeah.
Well,
And
no.
then-
So they are back at the mall, and he's in a class. He's like in this haiku class, or this. It's like a senior activity center where he volunteers. So like everything
Right.
happens in this mall. So he's there helping this this old guy. And he's with them, or he's covering for his mom at this senior center. So they're doing a haiku thing at the mall, and they're like in the distance, like looking at him or something. And yeah, I forget what happened after that.
All that is to say, there's not a lot of depth to anything that happened.
It's real. It's
Like,
real chill. It's real.
Yeah.
It's pleasant.
Very.
It's a pleasant
It's
movie.
pleasant.
It is. It's mild. It's very mild. Like if you just want.
It's like eating chips without salsa.
Yeah.
Like they're good enough, but that salsa
It's
makes
like
it better.
It's like you made dinner, but you forgot the salt and the spices, and you're just tasting that.
But it still looks good, but you just taste it and it just tastes a little bland.
Yeah, I mean, it's some steamed broccoli, man. It's just natural, it's regular. It's good for you. It's not like super exciting, but like
Let's just keep leaning into these
You know
analogies.
what it's actually like? Here's what it's actually like. Y'all remember
Please.
those like rice cakes? Not rice cakes. What are they?
popcorn rice.
Yeah,
cakes.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, the super crunchy ones. It's like one of those, not the plain ones, but the ones that just
like
have
the cheddar ones.
not even the cheddar ones, but the ones that just have like a light dashing of like cinnamon or something. So you crunch it and it's like it's just that little
Bro,
bit of
I
sweetness.
still get those. I get the caramel ones. It's just a little bit sweet,
Just a little bit sweet.
but
and I'll
somehow
say,
I can't stop.
I'll
eat a
say
whole
that
sleeve.
I want to go to bat for this movie, not because I loved it, because I didn't love it, but because I realized that there's a division between being able to recognize that something is good and there's something that you like. They don't always overlap.
Yeah.
And the more I think about this movie, like the character arc and the story that it does go through, even though it does meander and take its time at parts, it's very solid. Like you understand like the rise, and I don't even want to say fall, but the rise all the way up to the conclusion. It's more like a straight line to the conclusion. You understand like the importance of the girl and the boy's relationship, Cherry and Smile, their relationship, and helping to find this record for this guy, and then that kind of going sour when Smile breaks the original record that they found, and then they find like a duplicate one on accident, and it all culminates to him taking his headphones off, yelling the haiku, and then her finally just like taking off her mask and showing her teeth. It's like, I can see a segment of the population that would fall for this movie, and I actually understand why they would. It just so happens that I'm not a part of that. A lot of this stuff on this podcast, let me finish. I'll be finished.
Go ahead.
Quick. A lot of stuff on this podcast I don't like, and I'm like, I don't understand how other people would say to me with a straight face that this is good. I didn't love this, but if somebody was like, I really love this movie, I understand 100%.
Yeah, you could understand it.
Why they would. I'd be like, okay, this is just in your wheelhouse. This is suitable for your taste. For me personally, I just need like some drama, some suspense, some action, some depth, something like that.
Something's got to hit, and I don't think there's anything that hits really hard in this movie, and that's kind of the MO of it, right? But like, I feel like I kind of agree with what you said about the story, in that it's solid, but it's solid in a way that like a child's book is solid. Like there's a beginning and end, and a little bit of stuff happens, nothing too heavy, nothing that's going to keep you up at night.
No,
but
you're
like
right.
everything
I don't disagree.
happens and is resolved.
Yeah,
I
I don't
do not
disagree with that either.
disagree.
It made me think of this. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. This movie, it was called 17, and I remember seeing an ad for it. I think the movie did well, but it was like everyone's saying that this movie perfectly captures what it's like to be 17, and like it made me like want to throw up when I heard that. But I was just like, if you're 17 and this movie like speaks to you like that, like that's great. But there is a little bit of like there's deception. There is deception in this movie. He is moving away, but he doesn't tell her. And they plan on going to the mall fireworks together, but he's leaving town before, or like that night, the night that it's happening. So it leads to this big, like, moment, drama, like relative to the whole feel of this movie. The drama is him like getting out of his parents' car and running back to the mall to, declare his liking of this girl,
His mild fondness.
yeah, it's like, I am fond of you and I want everyone to know. But yeah, I can't hate on this movie. I don't want to say anything bad about this movie, because it's like, it's so innocent and like,
yeah, it's
pure
like
in a
ripping,
way,
Yeah, it's like making fun of a kid's like finger drawing.
Yeah.
It's like of course it sucks. That's not the point. Like, it's colorful and pure, and you look at it and it just kind of makes you smile. And that's okay, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's
like saying like
artful in what it is. Yeah, like it's not. I've said everything that I
like. Think, and you even reminded me. So, the part where she asks him, you could tell he wants to ask her to the fireworks festival, but she does it because obviously of the two of them, she's the extrovert. So she asks, but even when she does it, she's like all nervous. And then he's like, and they get interrupted by somebody that basically is calling to them. And you think it's going to be that typical moment where it's like, oh, they got interrupted and he's not going to say yes. He's just going to go in there because it's the easy out. But what he does is he runs past her. But when he runs past her, he says, let's go. Like, yeah, let's do it. And so she's like standing there for a second. And then she just kind of like, and like puts her hands up and she's all happy and yay. And like, yay. And it was really cute. Like, if you're a sucker for moments like that, I could see you loving this movie, because this movie is just full of those types of moments where it's just like, oh, they did it. They reciprocated the thing.
Yeah.
And it's happy and fun. And we're just like, nobody's even getting killed.
When's someone going to get cut in half?
I mean, that is our style. So, and it does not fit, but at the same time, it's like, it is what it is. I almost wish the story was a little bit better, just so I would be more inclined to lean towards this type of anime. But the story wise, this isn't going to do that for me, unfortunately. And that's okay. I won't turn away other like romance comedies. This isn't really a comedy. But as a stepping off point for getting somebody who's not into rom-com type anime, this ain't gonna do it.
I mean, I thought the plot, I feel like it was all appropriate. Like everything, like, nothing's too serious. They're trying to find a record for a guy, and it turns out it's his wife who was singing on the record, but he's kind of starting to go mentally, so he can't really articulate that. But it's just like, what else? It's perfect. Like, you're gonna find a record for an old dude, and they can feel good when they play the record.
Oh my God! Talk about scenes that lasted too long. I just remember when she broke the record and fucking took it home.
Together.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They showed her trying to glue this record together like 3 times. and she kept doing the same mistake over and over again. It's like, I'm gonna watch you do this 2 more times.
I feel like it was symbolic of the teenage struggle when you try things and you put. You think the glue is gonna hold and it doesn't, and then you're like, well, maybe if I try again. And no, I don't know.
Here's why that scene is even more extra stupid. Because you thought that it was going to be like her being desperate to fix the thing and then not being able to. And then she has this moment where she cries and breaks down. But then a scene after that, it shows that she did it successfully. So I'm like, why did you show her fail 3 times over the course of like 3 minutes or however long that scene was?
She didn't give up, Marcus.
No, man. No.
She didn't give up on Cherry Boy.
Yeah, it is what it is. I got a couple of my anime list review clips if you guys want me to read some.
Sure, why not?
All right, this fellow, Rebel Panda, gave it a 5 out of 10. He said, words bubble up like soda pop is more on the level of a moderately high quality anime than a movie. The expressively animated character designs nearly distract from their surface level depth. There are a couple of impressive animation cuts, such as a boy skateboarding through the shopping mall while evading security at the beginning, though the rest is simply cartoony. Melodic music, a low-stakes predictable story, and coming-of-age themes, there's just enough to maintain our attention until the bittersweet finale. This is not a film that warrants a second watch, although it won't leave a lasting impact. It is a nice passing watch to wind down with during the middle of the summer. I agree pretty much with everything.
I agree with that, except for the first part where he was like, it's an anime and not a movie. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you're not even.
Yeah, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
No.
Let's see. Let's give it to Korot. I can't pronounce that.
Kakarot?
No.
Korot?
Sorry, there's only one C in there. Carrout. Korot.
Okay.
Something like that. I found the show to be simple, yet an enjoyable one at that. I would suggest this to people who like music, slice of life, and people who love a little romance in this show.
Romance is too strong a word.
Yeah, it's like Disney Channel levels of romance.
I mean, we don't have another
know
word for
like.
it, so there's nothing else to really call it.
Yeah.
Agape. I think that's a word.
That means love in Greek. It's like familial.
I know, but
something.
it's like I don't know.
That's not the same. No, it's not. It's not the word you're looking for.
Grim Nightmare.
Fondness is the best word, I think.
Yeah, there you go. Grim Nightmare gave it a 2 out of 10 overall. The movie was mind-numbing and almost a complete waste of time. If I were to describe the movie, it would be like sitting in a boring meeting at work for 80 minutes and then right afterwards witnessing the coworker you hate the most eat shit just outside the office building. You won't remember much of the meeting, but the hearty laugh from the tumble you just saw will stick with you for a while.
Oh, man.
What?
By eating shit, does he mean like tripping and falling?
Yeah, I think so. Not literally eating shit.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was definitely thinking literally.
No, he says the tumble to mean that he meant that he just fell.
So
I've never said eating shit when I meant falling down. But I think I'll start.
It's a very skateboard, snowboard thing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't say it until I started snowboarding, and then once you actually eat shit, that's the only way to describe it. It's not I fell. There's falling, and then there's eating shit.
You haven't snowboarded till you've eaten shit.
But
that's good to know. I never heard that. But
what's the hearty laugh part?
I don't know.
The person you hate the most eating shit is where you get the hearty laugh from. You mean relative to the movie?
Relative to the movie.
Let me explain bastard fires comment or whatever his name was.
Grim Nightmare. You weren't even close.
Change your name to Bastard Fire. It's the same vibe.
I need to set up a dummy account on something.
That's gonna be my
and go
Twitter
by
handle
Bastard
now.
Fire. Oh, that's fucking great. That's amazing.
But here's the thing, like he breaks it down into categories. He says story 1 out of 10, art 5 out of 10, sound a 5 out of 10, characters
the
1
art
out of 10.
5 out of 10. You got some shit taste in art, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to write home
His
about here. The
name's-
movie looks like a well-made amateur project with a few nice-looking scenes.
His name's Grim Nightmare. You
disagree
know
with
this is
that.
not his aesthetic.
The colors were nice, but nothing else worth mentioning. I disagree.
Yeah.
The colors were nice, but also everything else was nice too.
I bet he like High Rise Invasion.
For the fan service. But his enjoyment was 10 out of 10.
What?
If there's
What?
anything this movie has to offer, it's the ending scene. After slogging through an entire movie's worth of uninspired teenage romance, Ishiguro hits us with one of the greatest ending scenes a romance movie based on social awkwardness could possibly have. I guess he's talking about the getting on stage and not professing love, but professing "I like you."
I mean, it's not the greatest love scene ever.
Yeah, it was
This
kinda
dude's
awkward.
all over the map.
Well, this brings it all together because it's like eating shit when you walk out of the building. He just says "I like you," and then it's funny, and then the movie's over. I don't know. I'm trying to interpret this dude on the internet
Hold up.
review. I'm
So
not
is he
gonna
is he the
think too
same?
much.
The guy that had the categories.
This is the same guy
it's the same
who's
person?
eating shit. Yes,
Okay, so
this is the shit eater.
all right. He
Enjoyment
really
was
loved
10
the end scene. What? I mean, it was a like Alan said, it was appropriate. I didn't think it was amazing. It served its purpose for the movie for sure.
He's saying it was hilarious
Okay, so he's just laughing at it. Like,
I mean, yeah, if you
like,
think
because it's so.
at this
Because
point,
it's
if you think the
stupid.
movie is bad, like, yeah, it's kind of this
got
awkward,
it.
this awkward, like, embarrassing thing that he does. So if you're like,
He's laughing at it ironically.
yeah, if you're laughing at him because he's awkward and clumsy, then like,
But he makes it sound like it's the best. Like it pulled the best boner ever, and it was just hilarious.
when I
But it's not. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't even that.
when I think of like things, I'm
Okay.
laughing at them because they're bad or because I think this person's corny. Like that's not a 10 out of 10 for enjoyment for me.
Right. Especially if I have to sit through 80 minutes prior of being pissed. I mean, it's kind of like when
Right.
we talked about Hathaway. Like, by the time it got to the cool stuff, I was just mad. So I didn't enjoy, overall, I didn't enjoy that movie because the first half of it, I was pissed.
Don't be saying bad things about Hathaway, Marcus.
I will, man. I don't give a fuck.
Tell us how you really feel about
I
Hathaway.
will tell you. I already told you. Go listen to that episode. What was that, 38?
Yep.
38 out of 8?
No, something like that. Maybe it's 39. I can't remember.
38 or 39. Gun damn it. It's the title episode.
Gun damn it. Go watch Hathaway.
What's this one going to be called? I guess we don't know yet.
I have some ideas.
You never know.
Okay.
Any final thoughts? I think we've talked about this mundane movie long enough.
No.
I think this whole episode was final thoughts.
This
it felt like
this movie is a pair of slippers. It's your favorite pair of slippers. You just put them on and then feel better than you did.
I disagree. I say it's the slippers that have been in your closet and you found them and they look real cozy and you put them on. You remember why you put them in your closet.
damn.
Okay. Fair. Yeah.
I'm gonna say that this movie is like when you see vegans eating a vegan burger and they're like super happy about it, and you're like, man, I like fucking rare bloody ass steak. Gone with your old bean burger bitch ass shit. I'm about to eat some fucking American red meat. But they like it. But they like the burger. They like their bean thing. They like the vegetable patty.
I mean,
That's
I'll,
what this movie's like.
I'll fuck with a black bean burger.
Let them have it. They can enjoy it. Good for them. All right.
There you have it.
That's going to wrap it.
Wrap it up.
One more in the can. Put it in the can.
40
Follow
deep.
us on Twitter at BrokeOtakuCast, where Alan tweets
That ain't me.
and says things. And we get into it with you if you disagree with us.
If you
I don't want to
have,
get in. I just want to have thought-provoking conversations
Yes.
with
Tell
people
us
on
what you
the
think.
internet.
If you're like bastard flame boy
Bastard
and you
fuck.
hated this movie and you want to let us know, please let us know. If you are
I really do. I
indifferent to this movie
I
like we
genuinely want to
fine.
know how people feel about this movie, no matter what your tastes are, because I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know what to expect. I
none
feel
of
like
us did.
I
AJ
approached
just
it-
picked it. We thought this motherfucker was gonna be about pop. There was
not a
barely,
single soda pop in this whole movie.
There
I
was
think.
like one for 2 seconds.
Yeah, you're
Really?
right.
I don't remember.
He was
So if you're looking for the Soda Popinski story, this is not it.
watch
Yeah,
Megalobox.
to look elsewhere.
Nomad.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a
So
Mike
yeah,
Tyson's
at,
Punch Out reference.
at Broke Otaku Cast, that's a Twitter account for that. I post anime deals on at Broke Otaku. Go to brokeotaku.com if you want to search for your deals
Get him.
and find them things. And then join us next time when we talk about something else we haven't decided yet, but we'll let you know when we post the episode. Check out the show notes. Go to iTunes, leave a 5-star review, because that's how people know this is the second worst anime
That's how
podcast
we
on the internet.
get places. Because that's how this
Yep.
becomes worth it.
Are we also on YouTube consistently now? Once again,
We are consistently on YouTube. I
All right.
posted the most recent episode just the other day. So we are caught up and consistent.
yeah,
Maybe not day
yeah.
and date with the exclusive podcast release on your whatever podcast network you subscribe to, but eventually we do get to YouTube, usually within a few days.
Don't tell them that.
So-
Just tell them we're doing it. We're consistent. That's how we get that number 3 spot.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're waiting for that release to drop day and date with the podcast one, you might be disappointed.
They're not waiting.
Well, maybe they are. One person might be.
They can wait. Keep on
day
waiting.
and date, Alan. Day and date.
Day and date.
They can date.
That's all I
They
got.
won't.
I'm done with my spiel. See you guys next time.
Guacamole. Guac and roll. Bye.
Peace.
Oh, yeah.
Well.